the green light go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went.
Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went.
Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy.
The blends be all the right cred,
meaning credentials.
best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls.
In the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
What you talking about? Space or out your mind?
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's
fool?
a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, passing your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A+ the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
Simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got
3 turns.
live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
Upheaval the ground.
cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow.
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
What you talking about? Space or out your mind?
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind?
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Turn it up, y'all keep the flow.
Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about? Space or out your mind?
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind?
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Hey, how fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now. You say that you ballin', keep it real though. Hey, why I never saw you in the field though? Hey, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want. Yeah, call us dangerous, ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us, no barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much, actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the bird, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog, I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want. Yeah, I been so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Masterpiece, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't right it. We break you down like a pound, I got it. Don't pound us around me, I'm corrupted. Flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war, you got to love it like black. Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black.
A Turkey Day tradition returns to Motown. It's the Coach. This is a special holiday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, it will be the 80th Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. as the Lions get set for the second straight year to play host to their NFC North rivals, the Chicago Bears. I'll see you again at halftime, but first we're off to Ford Field. Standing by, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Chicago Bears. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Quarterback Mitchell Trubisky leading out the Chicago Bears. Former number 2 overall pick out of Carolina. Big improvements in year 2 for Trubisky. Touchdown spiked from 7 to 24. Yards per game went up by almost 50. And, of course, most importantly, the Bears went from 5 wins to 12 and an NFC North title. On the ground with a rookie from Iowa State, David Montgomery. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on.
Big numbers, 100 in a bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad being pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard.
A Turkey Day tradition returns to Motown. It's the coach. This is a special holiday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, it will be the 80th Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit as the Lions get set for the second straight year to play host to their NFC North rivals, the Chicago Bears. I'll see you again at halftime, but first we're off to Ford Field. Standing by, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they too were winners.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet.
A Turkey Day tradition returns to Motown. It's the Coach. This is a special holiday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, it will be the 80th Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit as the Lions get set for the second straight year to play host to their NFC North rivals, the Chicago Bears. I'll see you again at halftime, but first we're off to Ford Field. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Chicago Bears. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Lions. Number 9, Matthew Stafford under center. They're working with a new offensive coordinator this year who has said we are a running team. Not something you hear much nowadays, so it remains to be seen what that will mean for Stafford's numbers in 2019.
40, blue 60. I got
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. And now the offense for Detroit.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplified their offense, and they'll just let their playmakers go out and do what they do best.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
blue 60.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. A look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now Montgomery. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Trubisky, and he fires one incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Trubisky will throw. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare 1st down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
1st down, here's the run to Montgomery. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action. Trubisky over the middle, and it's incomplete. Rashawn Melvin that time able to make the play. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
They'll run with McKissick. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the 1st down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Here's Sam Martin now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Look at the spin.
Balance.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bears take over. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A little bit of daylight on that 1st down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd and a couple, Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. 6 catches and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Trubisky to throw, and this is incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. 3rd down here. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Here's Trubisky. This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. On the ground, it's Montgomery. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, Yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The pass complete, this one to Danny Amendola. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards that time.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Stafford. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Stafford on 1st down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target, but it's going to be 2nd down. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A pretty big opening there on 1st down. 8 yards up to the 33. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Montgomery, nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will.
Trubisky on the keeper. It's a gain of 20. 1st down, Bears.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
A reminder, if you think we're done after this, you are so wrong. We've got the Bills and Cowboys in the traditional Thanksgiving afternoon game in Dallas, and then one more after that to top it all off. The Saints and the Falcons from Atlanta, 8 Eastern. Finish your turkey, finish your pie, and watch us. On 1st down at Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. Here's McKissick. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Akeem Hicks make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The dump off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Amendola set to return it. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Lions will take over. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy.
And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson. There he goes right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. He was 2nd in the NFL last year with 6 interceptions. This time, not only the interception, but also 6 points.
And it's just so difficult to go get the football in this league because people are so proficient in the passing game. It's not easy at all to read patterns, to break on the football, catch the ball, and take it the other way. Yeah, when you have a guy like that on your team, you feel really good about his efforts.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 26.
We gotta step it up.
Stafford here coming off his pick six. This one complete to Lacey. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run good for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Khalil Mack, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now it's Stafford. And that's complete to Jesse James. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, but when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kevin Pierre-Louis drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Trubisky leaves with Montgomery on the draw. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It wasn't 3rd and long. It was more like 3rd and attainable. And oftentimes, offense just want to run enough to pick up a 1st down. But I think they wanted to break tendency there. catch the defense playing for the short pass, and push it downfield, and they almost collected a big play.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here comes Amendola. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Back to throw, Stafford. Underneath, he's got Brait. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Stafford now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Amendola's got it, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. A carry now for McKissick. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This is Scarborough. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
It's easy work, and it's coming again. Check, check.
They run. This is Scarborough. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. To Montgomery to begin the drive. 1:57 to go in this 1st half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Steps away. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Trubisky. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On 2nd and 1, Trubisky. And he finds Montgomery complete.
There we go.
Complete to David Montgomery.
What's tight end?
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Eric Saubert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as the Bears push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium, as they'll take on the always tough Green Bay Packers. Then in the afternoon window, all eyes will be on Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it'll be the Steelers taking on the Cleveland Browns. And finally, on Monday Night Football, wrap up your Cyber Monday with the Vikings and the Seahawks from CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. To throw again on second down. Trubisky toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away. From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Romeo Okwara with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This will be fielded at the 17. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They go play action with Trubisky. Rolling to his right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 48-yard line.
They go play action. Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. Well, maybe he was going to be involved in that play from his tight end spot, and he jumped.
Yeah, don't tell me that those guys don't like to block. That's what we say about them nowadays in the NFL. But I think he thought he was one of the key pieces in that play and wanted to get out and execute the assignment very fast.
3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And Blake, the tight end's got it. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Let's go, one more.
Trubisky will throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On second down, Montgomery. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain. His guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
6 guard. Check 6 guard.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Sam Martin now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded at the 20. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, you know? And in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Check 31.
The toss play to Montgomery. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, And they'll spot it right at the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
I got you. I got you.
On 2nd down and 4. Stafford, and it's caught here. Amendola. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Stafford on 1st down. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. 2nd and 5 now. Stafford. And Blake has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Operating from the gun. Stafford. Galladay's got it. And the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Now Matt Prater for the point after. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way. So it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming in. I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Montgomery. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need two of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Stafford throws complete to Galladay. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 27-yard line. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll go again with McKissick. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 10. Stafford. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Stafford. Looking for the end zone. And no, it's incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Bears will get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Amendola set to return it. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Lions will take over. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. On 2nd and 10. Stafford underneath. He's got Brait. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a 1st down. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10.
Let's go, D, let's go. All right, let's get there.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. 23 yards on the play. Stafford here. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Here we go on 4th down. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? Just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
On 2nd and 2, Stafford. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
Lucky.
They'll keep it on the ground. Montgomery. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
We got this.
The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
180. 44. Yeah, let's get a second.
On 2nd down now, it's Montgomery. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. Hey, switch gears.
And Trubisky down to a knee, and that is all she wrote. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for Chicago, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me, you watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. Come on. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it.